Spirit Fitness Bike Assembly Instructions. Cut all the straps, remove the box off the top of the machine, and then take all the parts out of the box. Remove the plastic from the machine, and then remove the machine from on top of the cardboard box. Step 1 is the rear stabilizer and seat back assembly. First thing you want to do is get the rear stabilizer out, and it's held on with 4 bolts, and there's a washer that goes on each bolt as well. There's 2 that go right in the top and 2 in the back, and you want to make sure that you get these tightened down completely. Next step is to put the seat back in place, and it's held on with 2 long bolts, a washer, and a nut on the inside. Once again, these need to be fairly snug. Step 2 is the console mast assembly. First, you want to slide the mast cover onto the mast and then feed the wire harnesses up through the console mast, and then with all the slack pulled out of it, slide the mast into place. The mast is held into place with 6 bolts and washers that go on those bolts. All 6 need to be extremely tight. Then you need to remove the foam out of the mast hole. Next, we're going to be putting the handlebars on. It's held in place with just 2 hex head bolts. And then lastly, we're going to be putting the console on. Just plug all the wires into the back of the console. They can only plug into one spot. Feed the extra wire into the console hole and put the 4 screws on that hold the console in place. Step 3, seat and handlebar assembly. First thing we want to do is put the handlebars in place, and they're held on with 4 bolts and a washer and then a nut on the back side. They may be a little difficult to get fed in there because of the seat back, but you can get them in there, and these need to be very tight. Now we need to plug in the wires. There are 2 that are exactly the same and 1 that's different. Just plug the two into the back, and then the one that's different goes in the front. Next, we're going to put the seat in. It's held in place with just 4 screws that come in from the bottom. Then we're going to put the rear stabilizer cover in place. It's held on with 2 screws. And then the front stabilizer in place, also held on with 2 screws. Step 4, plastic parts assembly. First thing in step 4 is to attach the gas cylinder to the seat back. It's just held on with a bolt, a washer, and a nut on the back side. This needs to be extremely tight. It actually bends the bracket a little bit and tightens it down to where it's snug to that seat back. Then we're going to put the right and left release levers on. They go in right behind the pulse grips, and they're just held on with an Allen head bolt. And then the Velcro straps hold the cable to the arm. Next we're going to put the pedals in place. They just screw right in. You just have to remember that the left pedal is reverse threaded, so you're going to turn it the opposite way to tighten it up. These need to be very tight. Then the pedal straps just snap into place, one on the inside and one on the outside. Then we're going to put the beverage holders into place. They're held in place with two Phillips head screws. You want to make sure that you don't run the wire or run the screw through the wires that are coming from the pulse grips. And then repeat the same thing on the left side.